On a horseshoe bend on Tuscarora Mountain Drive, about 3 miles from the little village of Tuscarora, you will find the west entrance to the Spirit Trail. I'm hiking down through the pine forest into the green tunnel of the mountain laurel and along the Locust Creek. And I have a story to tell. Tuscarora State Park. How did it get its name? Tuscarora comes from their own tribal name, Skarureh, which means hemp people. And you can consider this hemp is similar to a milkweed. The Tuscarora tribe dwelt down in the New Orleans section. When the fur traders came in, then of course that was a lucrative for the Indians. They started doing a lot of trading. Then when the settlers came, they took advantage of the Tuscarora Indians, and they cheated them. And there are even reports that the settlers were taking the children to make slaves out of them. And then there was the war, Tuscarora War. In the winter, their homes were insulated with hemp fibers, and the Tuscarora tribe also used hemp as a medicine. Hemp seeds, nourishment, rich in protein and omegas, and the hemp flowers had antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. So the Tuscarora War, 1711 to 1713, didn't fare out too good for the Tuscarora tribe, and they were defeated, of course. So they went to their relatives up in New York, the 5 League of Nations, and asked for help. And the 5 League of Nations up in New York, the Tuscarora tribe then wrote a message to the governor of New York. Tuscarora Indians are come to shelter themselves among the 5 nations. They were of us, and went from us long ago, and now returned. We desire you to look upon the Tuscaroras that have come to live among us as our children, who shall obey our commands and live peacefully and orderly. In the Tuscarora State Park brochure, a spirit tree is mentioned. Could this be it? So 1714, the Tuscarora tribe began their 90-year migration to southern New York. And on their way, they took the Tuscarora path up by the Susquehanna River into southern New York, and on the way there were many streams and valleys and towns that took the name, that bear the name of Tuscarora. And then eventually they made it to southern New York, and the Five League of Nations then began their acceptance of their relatives from North Carolina. At some point, I got away from the spirit trail and found myself down there in the inlet. And at one time, the mud and all came up over my calf. And as I was walking through there, I was finding mullocks. And I was wondering just what they are. I decided that the best way out of there was to continue forward and find somewhere where I could climb out of there. And this is about where I came up through. I was so glad to get myself on out of there, and I found myself back up here on the Spirit Trail, and onward I hike. So, local tradition tells us that the Tuscarora Indian tribe briefly from 1715 to 1722 dwelt here in the Locust Valley. And therefore, Tuscarora State Park is named after those Indians that came up through. Tuscarora State Park. So, what kind of people were the Tuscaroras? What are they noted for? Well, let me say this. In the 16th century, they were considered the most powerful and highly developed tribe in eastern North Carolina. According to the first Surveyor General in North Carolina, John Lawson, he said, "They are very kind and charitable to one another, and when one loses a household or goods, the rest pitch in to help. They say, it's our duty, we must help, or we will fail." And he writes, "There's no poverty. If one has no food, they provide." For more information on the Tuscarora tribe, I have included in the description a website that I think you'll enjoy. As always, I thank you for joining me on this hike, and thank you for watching. You have a good day.